Welcome along to another video. I am That Cycling Chimp, and in this one I've decided to return to Whitelee Wind Farm. This is the largest onshore wind farm in the UK and it's just south of Glasgow City in Scotland. It's an absolute paradise for gravel cyclists, and today I've brought my gravel bike with me. I've had my gravel bike now for a couple of months and a lot of you guys have been asking me how I'm getting on with it. So I thought I would take you guys on a solo adventure across the wind farm. So if you're interested in seeing some more of the Scottish outdoors, or maybe you're just interested in what gravel bike I'm riding, grab a cuppa, kick back and relax, and let's get the show on the road. So today I'm riding the Merida Silex 400, or as I like to call it, the Green Hornet. I've had the gravel bike roughly about 2 months now, so this is the first time I've really been out to use it on gravel. I've done like kind of small adventures, but I've never done a full-on gravel ride on it. I've had a quick costume change, as you can see. Loaded the bike up, we're ready to go. The conditions today, according to my weather apps, was supposed to be sunny and warm. It is pretty warm, but as you can see, it's pretty overcast. There's actually a lot of low cloud as well, so this is going to be an interesting one when we actually get into the hills. Let's clip in, ride out and see what we can see. As I said, coming up, the cloud's pretty low. It's 10 o'clock in the morning and I'm hoping that the sun's going to come out and burn that off. It's not cold in any way at all, it's actually really clammy this morning. The forecast says no rain, because if you remember the last time, and if you watched the last video I was up here, I got absolutely drenched. It was still a cracking day out, but I got absolutely soaked. I'm hoping that doesn't happen today. For some of you guys that watch the channel and know my bike's inside out, you've probably seen there's a couple of upgrades to the Green Hornet, and I'll go through them later on. You'll also see that there's a slight upgrade in my back as well. I'll tell you more about that later on. Well, that's me done my first 5 kilometres, so the warm-up's by. Every time I come up here, I'm in awe with the countryside and just the way that it looks. I think I better show you guys exactly what it's like. A lot of you guys with the keen eyes will probably notice I've got a small backpack on today. That's the USWE hydration backpack. Picked one of these up because I was looking for something that was a little bit more substantial than my GoPro chesty, because I have the GoPro chest plate on with it, and I was looking for something I could store, just kind of little bits and bobs. I've not got the hydration bladder in it today, I'm using one of my water bottles, but it holds a 1.5 litre bladder for those that are interested. I'll probably give a full review of it. This is the first time I've used it out and about. It's also the first time I'm using my new camera pole on the back of the bike as well, which is the Rode microphone boom pole. I had the Insta360 one, but it was just a little bit too short, and I'm hoping with super view on the GoPro you can see the vistas that I'm seeing as cycling too. Now, if there's anybody from the central belt of Scotland or Ayrshire, I advise you to come up here on your bike, because it is an absolutely great place. It's traffic free, although there is a bus that goes round about the wind farm that does tours, but apart from that, you very rarely see anybody. And I know that there's gravel enthusiast cycling clubs that are in the city of Glasgow, and if any of you guys would like to invite me to a gravel ride out, feel free to comment below or hit me up on Instagram. Today's route is 47 kilometres. Now it's a completely different 47 kilometres to what it is if you're doing it on the coast, because the coast is pretty much flat, the kind of routes that I go. The terrain up here, as I said, is a gravel cyclist paradise. And the first thing I've noticed, the gravel is nice, compact and dry. It's not wet and soggy. I uploaded my route to my Garmin last night, and this is actually a slightly different route than I took the last time. Instead of going anti-clockwise round about the wind farm, I'm going in a clockwise direction. I'll also stop at the Herring Cafe probably halfway through as well, because that was quite a nice little place. And you never know who you might meet there. And here we go with the first ascent. Good thing is, my legs are warmed up properly. So that's the biggest difference I've found straight away between this Merida Silex 400 and my Trek Damani. The grip set that's on the Merida is the GRX 400, which I think is the entry-level gravel group set. On the Damani, it's the Sora group set that I've got, which isn't the greatest, but it's not the worst. The difference between the two, well, as I said there with the GRX, it's made for gravel. And the good thing about that is, when you're hitting hills, you've got a bit more selection compared to the Sora. But that doesn't mean to say that this is just a standalone gravel bike and that's all it is. Far from it. I done the big Instagram ride at the beginning of June, and it was 44 miles on tarmac. And yes, I was tired at the end of it, but I wasn't fatigued because of the bike. But the gearing ratios are really good. And it's definitely something to consider if you're looking into the gravel group set market. Words just can't describe the vistas that you see when you're out here. And this is the good thing with me preloading my route the night before into my Garmin. This is a slightly different route, as I said, that I took earlier on in the year. And the biggest difference is there's a lot of roads that wasn't really accessible in the winter time, just due to the condition that the roads were in, being sludgy, muddy and really wet. And this is one of these roads. Since I've done 15 kilometres, I'm just stopping to have a little break, because with the hill there it was a little bit unexpected, and that's what I like about up here, because it does challenge you quite a lot. I thought I'd take the time just now just to run through what I'm riding and exactly what the bike is, because some of you guys have been asking about it. So this is the Merida Silex 400. Taken away, as you can see, there's a couple of upgrades and differences to the bike. As I was saying, it comes with the GRX 400 group set, which includes the GRX 400 front and rear brakes. It comes with the GRX 600 crank, which is actually a 2x10 and it's 46x30. It's in a size large. I'm 6 foot and it fits me perfectly. The wheels on it, for the tyres, I've got the Maxi Ramblers, which are 700x45C. These are the stock tyres that come with it, and they seem to be pretty good at handling gravel. And they're not too bad. For me, I think they're a little bit thicker than what I'm used to. I may downsize my tyres when I need to change them out. The rims on it, again, it's stock Merida rims. They are tubeless ready, but when you buy the bike, you do not get tubeless tape or valves. You need to buy them separately. And talking about upgrades, as you can see, I've got a few bits and bobs on the bike. First of all, you can see I've got the road boom pole there. That's just to give you the over-the-shoulder look with the camera. I actually upgraded my cable ties to black for a change. Recently, I picked up the Restrap handlebar bag, which is a 10 litre one, and it's absolutely brilliant for space. It's a great little bag for your handlebars. I also got the Restrap large frame bag as well to keep some more bits and bobs in. Always opt for a tool bottle rather than a saddle bag, and for obvious reasons, that's why I don't use a saddle bag. You probably noticed the saddle. The saddle is a Brooks C17. I've got a C15 on Shadowfax, and I think they're a really comfy saddle. The stock saddle that comes with the Merida and any bike, I find, I don't understand. You pay quite a lot of money for a bike and then they just throw on a ridiculous saddle that you know you're going to change out. The handlebar tape is actually Bont Rager, the Trek brand. I changed that out the other week there. I actually double wrapped the bar tape. The original black bar tape is underneath that. I just needed it for a bit more cushioning, because the bar tape that comes is so thin. So what was the reason I picked this bike? I was looking for something that was kind of in between. As I said, the Damani is a road endurance bike. It's capable of gravel, but it's not the greatest for gravel. It's probably because of the group set as well. So I wanted to delve into the gravel territory because I tried it and I got an appetite for it, and I do really enjoy riding gravel. The other reason I wanted to purchase this bike, I was looking for something that was going to be more of a touring bike, but at the same time can work round about kind of urban areas as well. Would I recommend this bike to anybody? Yeah, I definitely would. I know there's a couple of people that's bought the bike below it, Silex 200, and I know some people that's bought the carbon fibre versions, which I think's the Silex 4000 and 7000. The frame on this is aluminium as well, so it is pretty rugged and pretty bomb-proof for what I've put it through so far. Anyway, it's getting to that time I'm kind of needing a coffee, so let's see if we can get to the Herring Cafe, and hopefully it's not too busy. Hey, how you doing? Now this is the first problem that we've got when we've got big chunky tyres like this. It doesn't actually fit the bike rack, and no doubt the bike will fall down that. I've stopped off at the Herring Cafe for a nice little mocha and some cake. I've got my traditional mocha, and I've also picked up a slice of toffee apple loaf. I've done 25 kilometres and we've roughly got about an hour 20 to get back to the Whitelee Visitor Centre. So I'm going to try and enjoy this, carb up a little bit. That is a seriously good cake. But so far I've been feeling pretty strong in the bike today. I've been keeping consistent in the last little while. I've been trying to do 300 miles in June. In my last count before I started my ride today, I still had 100 miles left to do. Well, that's me finished with my coffee. Need to find a little bin, have a quick comfort break, and then we'll ride out again back towards the Whitelee Visitor Centre where Basecamp is. If anybody's ever out this neck of the woods and they're near the Herring Cafe, definitely check it out because their coffees are really nice. I was built for speed. See you later on, pal. Well, that very nice gentleman that just passed me there, I'd met in the Herring Cafe just before I was leaving. He's got the latest road bike model from Factor. Now, as you've seen there, he overtook me, but he must have set the flux capacitor for 1955, because the minute I turned that corner, he just disappeared. It's just unbelievable, the technology in bikes today. It's possibly one of the fastest bikes that I've seen out on the roads the last couple of weeks. And as we turn off the road, we start cutting our teeth into the good stuff again. Now this is another road, I'm not saying it isn't passable in the winter time, but it definitely didn't look passable the last time I was up here. There has been a lot of activity in the last couple of days because I'm seeing quite a lot of bike trails and quite a lot of lines in front of me. And again, we've hit another ascent, but you really don't know that it's a hill just because the foliage all round about. It's not until you can hear my breath labouring that you know that you're in one. But it's all good in the hood for the endurance. Uh-oh, we've had a little mishap. The idea I had was to put the camera back up so that you could watch me over my shoulder to see some of these vistas again, because the scenery is absolutely top notch. But when I was reattaching the GoPro to the boom pole, I sheared the adapter. Now luckily, I've got plenty of adapters at home. Sadly, I didn't bring a spare. That's something I'm going to need to put in my kit bag for the next time coming out. I'm really disappointed in that. But then again, that's cheap components from a certain marketplace. Now, being serious when I say this, I don't know if this is going to translate to the camera as well as I think it is. I can see my route and I can see my road from roughly about 2 miles away. It's just this little gravel path. It's that kind of golden snake-like bend to the north there. I'm into my final 10 kilometres and I'm feeling really strong in the bike today. But I'm also looking forward to getting a shower because I'm starting to get pretty sweaty with the humidity. But it has been a really good ride today. I've been really happy with my effort. It's been a strong effort, but we're just on the final straight. I'll see you guys back at the car.
Use the force, Luke. Let go. Force is strong.
Needless to say, the bike is pretty dusty. Well, that's us got to the end of yet another video. Hope you all enjoyed today as much as I did. It's an absolute legendary ride out in the gravel at Whitelee Wind Farm. If you liked today's video, give us a huge thumbs up, and if you really liked it, please consider subscribing. It's absolutely free for you to do, and you'll get to see more adventures like this. If you really want, you can follow me on Instagram and Strava as well. Just search for That Cycling Chimp like the channel here. Hope to see you all in the next one. But in the meantime, you can check out my last video up there, which was my 100-kilometre ride with my dad. Or you can check out previously on That Cycling Chimp down below, which are archived videos and adventures. Until the next time, guys, bye for now. And if you're out riding, remember to ride safe.